everyone, welcome to Saucy Cat. My name's Zoe, and yes, I already showed off some of our saucy noodles, but ramen is so good it had to have its own list. So now it's time for my 3 favorite ramens. Let's get into it. First, let's get spicy with a Gen Ramen. Let's start off with a little bit of prep. I have these crazy fun looking white beach mushrooms, which I'm just gonna remove the bottoms and then pull apart. You can use other mushrooms if you wish, but you gotta admit, these are cool. Then mince a few cloves of garlic and let's get cooking. Set a pot on the stove on medium-high heat and drizzle in some sesame oil. Toss in the mushrooms along with some corn and stir fry for a couple of minutes. Set the mushrooms and corn aside and return the pot to the stove. Don't clean the pot out, as all those little charred bits will add some nice flavor to the broth later on. Add your minced garlic along with a couple spoons of gochujang paste. Give it a good stir until the sauce starts to bubble just a little bit. Pour in some veggie broth and let it all come to a simmer. Make sure to give it a good whisk so the gochujang gets mixed in. While that's simmering, let's get our noodles going. I'm using my homemade noodles from my last ramen video, but any ramen noodle works great. Boil the noodles per package instructions, mix them so they don't stick together, and rinse with cold water once they're done. Turn off the heat for the broth and dissolve a spoon of red miso paste using a sieve. Grab a bowl for your noodles and ladle in the broth. Add your mushrooms and corn back in, along with some fresh spinach and freshly chopped green onion. Sprinkle some sesame seeds on top, and let's slurp this dish. Gotta make sure I get some stuff in it. There we go. Whew! The heat is definitely there. The spinach helps to calm that heat down, and the sweetness of the corn is a great pairing too, but man, I need a drink. Hope you like soy sauce, because next is a Shoyu Ramen. First, let's finely chop a little ginger and garlic. Grab a medium pot and set it to the stove on medium-high. Heat up a drizzle of sesame oil and saute the garlic and ginger for about a minute. Now time for the shoyu, aka soy sauce. Also in goes some mirin and sake. If you don't have sake, Chinese cooking wine will work just as well. Finally, pour in some of that homemade dashi from our previous episode. Bring that all to a dull simmer and cook for 15 minutes so it can reduce and the alcohol can burn out. While we wait, let's prep some toppings. I'm feeling some thinly sliced bamboo shoots, maitake mushrooms pulled apart into bite-sized pieces, and chopped green onion. Let's place a small pan on the stove at medium-high and drizzle in a tiny bit of oil. Saute the bamboo and mushrooms for about 5 minutes. With our broth reduced, pour in some water and allow it all to heat back up. Finally, let's get some water boiling for our ramen noodles. I'm using some homemade noodles from a previous episode, which will only cook in 1 minute. Make sure to rinse them well in cold water once they're done. Now let's build this bowl. After filling your favorite bowl with a good heap of noodles, ladle in that amazing rich dark broth. Next goes our bamboo, mushrooms, and those green onion. Make it all pretty with a nori seaweed fan, and let's slurp this dish. Time for the slurp. The soy sauce is definitely the defining flavor, which it should be, but it's not overpowering at all, and the other veggies pair really well with it. It's really good. Finally, let's get simple with this eggplant and tofu ramen. Let's start off by dicing up a shallot, some garlic cloves, ginger, and some green onion. These are what's going to give our broth some nice fresh flavor. Grab a medium pot and heat up some sesame oil. Add our diced ingredients and saute on medium-high heat for 1 to 2 minutes. Then pour in some vegetable broth and bring the whole thing to a dull simmer. After about 5 minutes, turn off the heat and use a sieve to dissolve some white miso paste. The broth is ready, so let's get some water boiling for our noodles. I'm using these fun green ramen noodles that I feel really match the light and healthy vibe I'm going for. Simply cook per package instructions. Moving on to our toppings, slice a Japanese eggplant and cut a block of extra firm tofu into sheets. Grab a medium pan and set it to medium-high heat. Drizzle in some sesame oil along with some soy sauce. Add the eggplant and tofu and stir fry for about 5 minutes. The soy sauce should have evaporated out and the eggplant and tofu should have nice caramelized edges. Now to build our ramen bowl. First goes our noodles and our light and beautiful broth. Lay out the eggplant and tofu, then add a generous portion of bean sprouts. Top it off with a sprinkle of sesame seeds, and let's slurp this dish. I love ramen. It's amazing just how much flavor we were able to get into this broth, even though it's really simple and light. And then the tofu and eggplant have a bunch of flavor, even though it's literally just soy sauce that's flavoring it. It's really good. Well, that does it for today. Let me know what some of your favorite ramens are down in the comments. Like and subscribe so you don't miss any future dishes. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Saucy Cat.